Hello again, Lockpicking Paul here, and I've got an ABS 3-star Dimple magnet interactive with trap pins. So they've thrown the kitchen sink at this lock. First things first, on the key, you can see it's in position 1. You've got a magnet, and then you've got 4 pin in pin pins. So effectively it's an 8-pin lock plus the magnet. So you've got to pick pin in pin, get rid of the magnet, and once you've opened it, you've got these. Hopefully, let's zoom in so you can see them better. On the underside of the lock, you've got 3 trap pins in positions 2, 4 and 6. Same on the other side of the lock. Come on, focus. Yeah. So you've got 6 trap pins. So as this rotates, after it's opened, if there isn't a key in the lock, those trap pins will fire into the bottom of the core, bottom of the keyway, and in through the bottom of the key pins, and basically locking the lock absolutely solid. You'll come home and you'll find the lock sort of in that position without a key in it, and you'll know someone's tried to pick the lock and they've gotten jammed up. Picking your way out of those with a pick is actually pretty tough. It's not a happy thing to get out of. They're much harder to pick, those trap pins, than the actual key pins themselves. They're much smaller as well. I find them an absolute mare anyway. But there is a better way. You can pick them with string. So after you've got the lock open, you can use, if you use the right kind of string, you can fill the lock keyway completely with the string, and then you can get a 360, which I will hopefully demonstrate shortly. So yeah, it's quite a lot to do with this lock. Technically, it's a complex lock to pick. So you've got to get pin in pins, do the magnet, get the open, get rid of the trap pins. But actually, it's surprisingly easy compared to some just straight pin tumbler locks. The tolerances aren't fantastic in this, so the dimples themselves pick quite easily, and the string and the magnet is in position 1, so you can get to the magnet nice and easily in this lock. And although, to be honest with you, I've picked locks with magnets in the back and that's not as hard. Here, the chances are you'll pick up a magnet with the pick and end up spreading it around the lock or dragging it out, so you have to keep replacing it. But that, it's not that hard, and with the string makes it, I think, far easier. So anyway, I'll hopefully demonstrate that. So I'm going to go and get this set up in a vise, get it focused, and I will see you in a moment. Cheers. Right, so it's all working. Hopefully you can see the trap pins underneath. They're all there and present. So picking the right side of this. First things first, let's put the magnet into position 1. I'm just going to take that on the end pick tip and just drop it in and just pick up nicely. Okay, pick the outers first. We can be quite robust with this. Gotta be careful every time you pull the pick out, drag the magnet out with you. Get back in there. Right, so that's all the outers done. Let's do the inners. That's my other pick. Right, that's open. And as I took the pick out, I dragged the magnet out. That's handy. Right, now comes the difficult bit. Now we've got to get that round 360. And the way to do that, if I pull this core any further around, those trap pins there are going to fire into the bottom of the pins here, and the trap pins on the other side are going to fire into the bottom of the keyway. And we don't want that, because that takes blooming forever to pick out of. What we're going to do is we're going to pack it with gardener's twine. And this stuff is good because you can compress it right down. So I'm just going to fill the entire keyway with this. Now, if you wanted to pick up the cam, you'd have to stick a rod down there as well and pack the string around it, which does make it a bit more fiddly. So we're not going to do that because life is too short. But I am going to pack this completely with gardener's twine. And the reason I'm using this stuff is it packs down really tight. If you were using the kind of string you could buy in W.H. Smith's and stationery supplies, that stuff just doesn't pack tight enough. And what this is doing is basically preventing the trap pins on the keyway side, bottom of the keyway side, from entering the keyway, and on here it's preventing the pins from being pushed up. So it just basically brushes the pins out of the way. But it's best to take your time, pack it well, prevent a problem. And I've done this on good old-fashioned pin tumblers as well as Dimples, and it does work if you take the time to do it right. I have rushed this step in the past, and that led to tears. Well, metaphorically speaking anyway. But once it's all packed, I'm going to turn it reasonably swiftly, but not. I don't want to linger, hang over the trap pins, because they're not to be trifled with. Right, getting close. Get in there. Right. Moment of truth. Shall we see if it worked? Let's go for the 360. Make sure I can get this turner in now. Right. There you go. 360 with string. Happy days. Let's pull that out. You can see how much I got in there. It's got to be about 18 inches of string in there, which is quite significant. But we'll just prove it does still work. So there you go. Picking a lock with string. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a bit different. Enjoy your picking. Cheers.